it's a real fire, Betty. It's a real fire? Oh no.
Good thing is he can put them out too, so some days.
Betty, you put your hat on first. Betty, the big red one over there. So you got 2 free hats.
How are you? What they find you for stuff?
What?
Oh.
You like it?
It is. So what we're going to get you to do is we're going to do a fire extinguisher first while we wait for that to boil up.
Okay.
So what we're doing, well, when it happens, yeah, what we're going to do today, we're going to do 2 things. We're going to show proper use of a fire extinguisher, and Betty's going to put it out for us today. And then we're going to show you what to do when you have a kitchen fire, or what not to do, I should say. So we have, he's getting a pot of oil there going as if we're going to deep fry something, and you'll see what happens when you do the wrong thing on a kitchen fire, like a grease fire. In the meantime, this is our little prop we have here for fire extinguishers. Wayne, you want to run that for me? So what we're going to do is we're going to fire this up. It's a propane-driven prop, so if anything comes worse, you can press the button and you're going to run the fire extinguisher. So I'm going to kind of go over a couple of these things for folks. There's a bunch of different types of fire extinguishers. Everybody should have one of them in your home. The best one to have probably for most people is an ABC fire extinguisher, which I believe is maybe what this one is. These are really old ones. That's a dry candle. There's an old ABC one there. So a lot of people should have one of these, or sometimes they have a K on them now for kitchen fires. But these put out basically all types of fires. The A, if you look at it, it's kind of shaped like a Christmas tree, so that's for putting out like a wood fire type deal, those kinds of combustibles. The B is kind of shaped like a gas can, so that's for fuel fires. And your C, if you really use your imagination, is kind of shaped like an electrical plug, so that's for those kinds of fires. So that's why an ABC fire extinguisher is probably the best fire extinguisher to have at home. With dry chemical foams type stuff, it's like dust basically when you spray it. We're going to try to avoid using this one just because it's really, you see it on TV where they spray people in the face and they all come out white stuff all over the face. You would never do that with one of these. This stuff is really nasty stuff. It'll take the air right out of your lungs, and it's not something you want to play around with, and it makes an awful mess. Sorry. These are what we're going to try and use today. These CO2 ones, these are great for electrical fires. They're not really good for most things, but they'll work on what we're doing today. And they make an awful noise, but they basically take the oxygen away from the fire and cool things down. So you don't ever want to put your hand in front of one of these ones because it gets really, really cold really fast. So you don't want to do that. And this is a water can with that's pressurized. Now sometimes what we'll do here in the fire service is we'll put a little bit of foam in here too. We don't have it in this one just to help put things out a little bit better. But this is just for wood combustibles, and all it is literally water, and then we pressurize the tank with some air to give it some pressure to spray. So we can try and use that today as well. So this is our little burn prop, and what we're going to do, or what Betty's going to do for us today, is she's going to practice what we call pass. So that's when you're using a fire extinguisher, the proper way to use it, we call it pass. So the first thing you do with a fire extinguisher, I'm going to hand this to Betty, is you pull. You're going to pull that pin right out of the side.
Okay, now?
Yep, sure.
Can I put this thing on?
Yeah, why not? Put it right on to you. Here, we'll wait so it doesn't go clear down over your ears.
Thank you. So pull.
Yep, pull the pin.
Not press.
Nope. Pull that right out. Yeah. There you go. Perfect. So what she did is effectively pulled the pin. So every fire extinguisher should have a little metal pin on it. If it's been recently inspected, like this one, there's usually something like a piece of plastic that will hold it. And if that's the case, you just twist till that snaps off, and then you pull your pin out. So once you pull the pin out, the fire extinguisher is now ready to go, kind of like a grenade. You pull the pin out, it's ready to go. So the next thing, before you do it, we're not going to do it right this second, is you're going to aim. So when she gets the fire, if this fire extinguisher is the fire, we're going to aim at the fire. You want to aim at the base of the fire if you can, because that's where it's burning the most, it's at the bottom, right? So you can aim at the base of the fire. So that's you pull, you aim, then you're going to squeeze, and that's when you squeeze the handle. So that's pretty easy, pull, aim, and squeeze. And the part that everybody forgets is the last S, which is sweep. And that's when you want to do this. You want to take the end of this thing and go back and forth, just like that, just as fast as you can. And that's the part that really makes fire extinguishers effective, because you're distributing the most amount of stuff that comes out of this at the base of your fire. And that's what will make it actually put out the fire. So if it doesn't put out the fire, and you're in your house and you use your fire extinguisher, and you started putting it out, and it doesn't work, get out of the house, call us. You should call us anyways. Anytime you have a fire like that, give us a call anyways. We can come in with our thermal camera. We can make sure that the fire didn't get into the wood or into places that you might not see. So Wayne, see if we can get this fired up. You want to gas it?
No.
So in this case, Betty, what we're going to do, your fire is the whole square. So you're going to kind of have to chase it down. And this is a little bit of an interesting one because it's propane. So as you go, it's going to try to chase right back around again. So when you aim, you're going to start at this one, basically start at pick a corner, and then you're going to just sweep as fast as you can and try to get to the other end of the corner. Yeah, don't walk over or anything like that. Just very quickly to finish back and forth just like that. All right, you all set? You want a helmet on your noggin? This one's smaller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, here. Here. Gloves on too, just in case. Nah, you don't do that fast. Yep. Get her? Are you right over this corner? No. When the time comes. Alright, so you're going to aim right at the base of that. You're going to squeeze. On the one, she just see what comes out. It's like a cold gas. And then this guy does have water. But if you're going to have one in your home, you want one like this. It's got the powder inside of it. That's going to put out all the kinds of fires. Anybody else want to give it a try? That's a good idea, yeah. Betty mentioned something that is also very true. Like I said, these are all really old fire extinguishers. Some of them have been handed to us just because they're on their last legs. But a young fella, is he too young to try it? No, we can get him to try it. What? Yeah, we can try it. We'll get a helmet on your head, okay? You see this one actually, if you look at this one, there's a little gauge on it. The little yellow needle is not up in the green. So that means that some of this has already been discharged or it's lost some pressure. And if you see that, then you probably should get it replaced or refilled, because it's not going to necessarily work for you. And Betty made a good point too. Every once in a while, once a year or every 6 months or so, take it out of, like everybody usually has them mounted someplace. Take them and flip them upside down. If it's one of these style, if it's one that's got powder in it, just helps get the powder moving around in there so it's not all solid. All right, you want to give it a try? All right, here, let's get a helmet on you. How's that coming, Josh? All right, can I take the pop can from you? Kitchen fire is a grease fire. So, what people may or may not know is a grease fire is one of those things that you can't put out with water. So the best thing to do with the grease fire is to smother it, take it away from the heat source, or one of those dry chemical fire extinguishers will work on a grease fire. A water extinguisher will not work on it, and putting water on a grease fire makes it a lot worse. So today what we're demonstrating with this little ghetto prop we have here is a grease fire. So is it ready to go, Josh? Okay. It's getting there. It's not quite there, eh? Did it pop once already?
No, it hasn't popped.
Okay, put the cover back on and let it pop. So what we're doing is we're waiting. We're not going to ignite it. We're going to let it self-ignite. It actually will. There it goes. Okay. So now go take the cover off a little bit. Give it some air. It's not going to go for us, is it?
Why is it going to go in that can?
Yeah, it's going to go in that box. Way back here, so it won't hurt us.
When we did this earlier, we waited about 15 minutes or so for a pot to boil. It's a very exciting time. Josh is going to sing and dance for us while we wait. Cover it again, Josh. Maybe it needs a little more. So as you can see, it does take an awful long time for a pot full of grease to boil over and ignite. So it really should never ever be gone that long for it to ever catch, but it does happen. Right now. Just give it a little bit of air. There it goes. Okay. So that caught all by itself. Now what Josh is going to demonstrate, and just watch out folks, is he's going to demonstrate why you do not put water on a kitchen fire. You want to see if we can do it again? Josh, I want to see if they can do it again. So see if you can put it back on the fire. I think it's good. See if it'll catch again.
I don't know, guess we left it don't do that close.
Yeah. Put water on it. Better put some water on it. No, it's all done. Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah. Yeah, but it has to pour out. That's why it never was. Yeah, because if you did that and you put water in it, then you would have. Never put water on it.
That's how you do it. I go to work.
Oh, you got a picture of that. And if you were like right there pouring water into it, it would all over you and you would be.